By Guruji's grace, we are discussing about history, life and teachings of 15 Bhagats whose Bani has included in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. There are two kinds of
Recording in
Bhagats.
progress.
There are few Bhagats whose name has appeared in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and there are 15 Bhagats whose Bani is also part of Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So our topic for today we are going to discuss about one of those Bhagats. His name is Bhagat Parmaanand Ji. So Bhagat Parmaanand Ji, if we go through his life detail, where did he born, when did he born, then definitely we do go through some different kind of times, different kind of things, different kind of statements. But basically, this is the one of the date which is 1483 when he born, and he lived for around 110 years. So लगभग 110 साल दी जिंदगी है भगत परमानंद जी दी, and he born in the village Barsi, and it is in the district Sholapur. It is in Maharashtra. One side of Pune is Mumbai, another side of Pune is Sholapur. थोड़ा एक ठंडा इलाका है. It's not very hot, but temperature is around 20 to 22 degree, or maximum it goes around 30. So most of the time it is raining in these areas. थोड़ा पहाड़ी इलाकों की तरह ने. Almost 30% of annual days are raining days in this district, in this area. तो बारिश काफी है. On an average ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਤੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਹੀ 7-8 ਘੰਟੇ ਦਾ ਐਵਰੇਜ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ. In a day around 7 hours rain. तो ਥੋੜਾ ਬਾਰਿਸ਼ ਵਾਲਾ ਇਲਾਕਾ, ਉਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਏਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਭਗਤ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਬਚਪਨ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਗੁੱਡ ਪੋਇਟ ਐਂਡ ਸਿੰਗਰ. ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਇਹ ਗਾਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਇਹ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਕਵੀ ਵੀ ਹੈ. One thing is famous about him is there is a saying, like whenever he was just reciting God's name, whenever he was reciting his name, whatever he sees, sometimes he just say like God is in this building as well, God is in this tree as well, God is in this stone as well. So ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਖਿਆਲ ਆਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ, ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ. तो ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ 700 ਵਾਰ, around 700 times he used to go down to the things by saying God is in this thing as well, God is in that thing as well. So whatever he used to see, he just say ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਦਿਆ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਨ. ਐਸਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਫੇਮਸ ਹੈ. ਪਰਮਾਨੰਦ ਸਾਗਰ is one of his writing. And last week we talked about Surdas Ji's writing as well. So he also wrote a granth about his teachings, about his experiences. And we don't get much detail about his family, his father, mother, children, or wife, or any brother or sister does he had or not, or was a single child. So we don't get much information. It is part of the research. Still research is going on. If someone would find or would get some details in future, that is possible. But as of now, we don't get much detail about this Bhagat, about his family. But yes, we do get details about his guru, about his masters. So there were two masters. One was Valbhacharya and his son was Goswami Vithalnath. So Valbhacharya was father and Goswami Vithalnath was his son. So they both had 8 disciples in one way. 8 ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚੇਲੇ ਸਨ. The list that you can see on the screen as well, like Bhagat Surdas Ji and Bhagat Parmaanand Ji was also one of those. And there was again one person was Nand Das that you can see on the number 7. He was a cousin of Tulsidas. ਸੋ ਇਹ 8 ਚੇਲੇ ਨੇ। few believes like 4 belong to Valbhacharya and 4 belong to his son. ਬਟ ਸੂਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਔਰ ਭਗਤ ਪਰਮਾਨੰਦ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਾਮ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਲਬਾਚਾਰਿਆ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਹੀ ਮੇਨ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ। ਐਂਡ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਫੈਕਟ ਇਜ਼ these 8 are known as an Ashtshap as well. Ashtshap. Asht is belongs to 8. 8 ਦੀਵੇ, 8 ਪੁਰਖ, 8 ਜਗਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਦੀਵਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ। Different interpretation we read. So Asht is basically related to 8. So group of 8 people. Asht. ਹੁਣ ਇਹ 8 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਨ, they used to go together and sing religious hymns, reciting his name, and they all work together. They all mostly goes together as well. So they were known as an Ashtsha. About them, definitely it has been written in the books. ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ in the Hindi Sahitya book, part 1 and part 2, we do read about in the Hindi Sahitya. They specifically mention about Ashtshap and then details about those 8 and also about their writings and one like few shabads, few wordings of like which was famous, which they used to speak. So this kind of details we do find in Hindi literature. So Ashtshap, and he is one of those. Asht is one of those 8 people. That was one point of view from the Hindi literature. But then when we talk about the Sikhi literature or Punjabi literature, then we see one interesting fact about Bhagat Parmaanand Ji, another different aspect. According to Gyani Dit Singh Ji, now firstly we need to know who is actually Gyani Dit Singh. If you have heard about Khalsa College Shri Amritsar, he was one of the key member in establishing Khalsa College. Also, even he wrote books for the students. So Gyani Dit Singh Ji is one of those, the main key member of that time. Another aspect about Gyani Dit Singh Ji, he was the founder of Singh Sabha movement. Singh Sabha movement, ਸਿੱਖ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ, ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਗਲਤਫਹਿਮੀਆਂ, misunderstanding or maybe an ignorance about religion that should be eradicated. So he was the one who started Singh Sabha movement, and also he started a newspaper as well. ਅਖਬਾਰ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਦਿੱਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਜਿਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਸੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਅਖਬਾਰ ਲਾਹੌਰ। ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਫੇਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, so to promote the Sikhi, the message of Sikhi, so he started this newspaper as well. And fourth, last but not least point, he wrote over 70 plus books about Sikhi and literature, and discussed and wrote a lot about any wrongdoings, any rituals, whatever is not part of Sikhi. So he promoted Sikhi a lot and he dedicated his life. So that kind of personality was Gyani Dit Singh, who had a discussion with Dayanand Ji as well. So Dayanand Nal Mera Samvad is one of his famous book. So one of his book, Itihas Guru Granth Sahib, on the page number 324. According to Gyani Dit Singh Ji's research, so he was definitely a great research scholar at that time. He said, according to the time duration, and also he came to Punjab and met Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji as well, third Guru, and he enjoyed, he took blessing in the Sangat of Shri Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji as well. So Gyani Dit Singh Ji ਤੀਜੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਪਰਮਾਨੰਦ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਮਿਲਾਪ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨੇ, ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਤੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਭ ਲਿਆ ਹੈ, ਐਸਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਭਗਤ ਪਰਮਾਨੰਦ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ। So now we will talk about his writings, his words which are part of Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So these are some points based on the research, based on the some historic books or some facts, or they're part of their philosophy. But here, now the main guidance we are going to take from the Shabad, which is part of Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So he is again one of those Bhagat whose one Shabad has included in Gurbani. So in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, on the on the page number 1253, 1253 अंक के ऊपर one Shabad has included, which is in the Rag Sarang. It is right before Bhagat Surdas Ji's one Pankti. Last week we talked about Bhagat Surdas Ji's one Pankti is in Rag Sarang, and then Guru Arjan Sahib Ji wrote his Shabad, then Kabir Ji's Shabad and Rag Sarang was completed. So before writing that Surdas Ji's Pankti, the Shabad which is included, that Shabad we are going to discuss today, and which is from Bhagat Parmaanand Ji. So in Guru Granth Sahib Ji it is written as Sarang, Ik Oankar Satgur Prasad. In Guru Granth Sahib Ji, basically we have 31 main rags. So this is the one of the rag from those main 31 ragas. The name of this rag is Sarang. ये लगभग दोपहर ਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਗਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸਰੂਪ ਦਾ ਪਿਕਚਰ that you can see ਇਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਗੀਤਕਾਰ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਗ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਰੂਪ ਇੱਕ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੋ this picture is used to show the nature of rag Sarang. ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ, small short रूप of मूल मंत्र. एक तो शुरू ਹੁੰਦਾ है सत गुर प्रसाद परमात्मा एक है, एक ओंकार सत गुर प्रसाद जो बना रहा है, जो पाल रहा है, जो मिटाएगा, but we can meet him by the grace of true Guru. Now, the Shabad's starting punctuations very important. तै नर क्या पुराण सुन कीना, अन पावनी भगत नहीं उपजी, भूखै दान न दीन. तै नर क्या पुराण सुन के, अन पावनी भगत नहीं उपजी, भूखै दान न दीना रहाओ. This is a Rahao Pankti. This is the main important Pankti in which very important message which is still applicable in our day-to-day life. Completely applicable. Sometimes we just doubt कि गुरबानी is still applicable, कि हसी हजे भी साडे ऊपर लागू हुंदी है या नहीं हुंदी है. So never have a doubt about it. It's completely applicable. The Shabad is now they are asking, तै नर तू मनुख क्या पुराण सुन कीना. You heard a lot Purans related to scriptures, religious guidance, reading books. Unpavani. Pavani means which can be eradicated, which can be finished, जो खत्म हो सकती है, मर सकती है. अनपावनी जो कभी भी नाश नहीं होएगी, जो कभी भी खत्म नहीं होएगी. भगत नहीं उपजी. Bhagat means Bhakti. Nahi upji, did not arise in your mind about a thought, or Bhakti did not arise of the one who is immortal, जो हमेशा ही है, अमर है, परमात्मा. भूखे दान न दीना रहा, and never gave something to any needy one. Very important message. Saying, Tena, kya Puran sun ke na? You are listening a lot of religious things. You are listening lots of good talks. Maybe you are listening or reading religious scriptures. But अनपावनी भगत नहीं उपजे, but you don't feel like reciting his name. ਭਾਵ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਣੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਬਾਣੀ ਸੁਣਨ ਦਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਕੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਜੇ ਕਦੀ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਚਾਅ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ। You're listening, you're reciting, but never have the thought about recite his name. You're good to listen, you're good to know, getting more and more knowledge, but there is never an excitement. You never want to do recite his name. ਕਦੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਤੂੰ ਬਾਣੀ ਸੁਣੀ ਹੈ। Like listening, going to any place, listening to religious talks or singing religious hymns is a one point, but another is, do you get filled with the joy, excitement? See, feels like, yes, I want to do, I heard about Vaheguru, now I want to recite his name. ਕਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਾਹ ਬਣਿਆ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ। ਭੁੱਖ ਹੈ ਦਾਨ ਨਾ ਦੀਨਾ। You heard a lot, must help the needy one. You heard a lot, must help wherever you can. You heard a lot about the seva. ਭੁੱਖ ਹੈ ਦਾਨ ਨਾ ਦੀਨਾ, but you ever did that as well? ਕਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਆ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਸੱਚੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਾਂ। So it is about scripture and virtues. It is good to know, it is good to have more knowledge, but not knowledge is not just complete thing that we need, but we must apply. तो बाणी सुनी, गुरु ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ। ਕੀ ਕਦੇ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਾਅ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਜਪ ਤਪ ਕਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਾਂ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਸਕ੍ਰਿਪਚਰ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਦਾ, ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਦਾ ਇਹੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੰਦਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੁਝ ਚੰਗੇ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਵੀ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ। then तो कुछ करना भी है, कुछ छड़ना भी है। तो there should be arising of good values, virtues. ਬਾਣੀ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਗੁਣ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਣ। We recite his name so that we could arise ਦੇਵੀ ਗੁਣ, which are called ਦੇਵੀ ਗੁਣ, good qualities, ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ। then ਕਾਮ ਨਾ ਬਿਸਰਿਓ, ਕ੍ਰੋਧ ਨਾ ਬਿਸਰਿਓ, ਲੋਭ ਨਾ ਛੁਟਿਓ ਦੇਵਾ, ਪਰ ਨਿੰਦਾ ਮੁਖਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੂਟੀ, ਨਿਪਲ ਭਈ ਸਭ ਸੇਵਾ। ਕਾਮ ਨਾ ਬਿਸਰਿਓ, not able to control on the lust. क्रोध ना बिसरियो, anger is as it was. लोभ ना छुटियो देवा, देवा वो मनुखा, ना लालच घटिया। तो ना लस्ट घट रही है, ना एंगर घट रहा है, ना लालच घट रहा है, नॉट ग्रीड इवन। देन पर निंदा मुक्ते नहीं छूटी। देन पर निंदा, किसे दी बुराई करना, gossiping about someone. Truth is one thing, gossiping or ninda is a different thing. Truth is just saying whatever it is. Saying good to a good person, saying bad to a bad person, or saying something good which is actually means to her, or saying bad when it is actually bad, which is part of just saying truth. But ninda, if something is good but yet we are saying it is bad, that is ninda. ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਘਟਾਣਾ, ਜਾਣ ਬੁੱਝ ਕੇ ਮਾੜਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। So ਪਰ ਨਿੰਦਾ ਮੁਖ ਥੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੁੱਟੀ। So gossiping, trying to insult, so those kind of things haven't, not able to live. Then nifal pai sab seva. So the next step, these are in this Shabad we will see the 5 steps. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 5 ਖੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਬ੍ਰਹਿਮੰਡ ਬਣਾਇਆ 5 ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। तो इस शब्द ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ 5 ਪੜਾਅ, like 5 stages we will discuss. So first stage was, if you are reciting his name, must do good deeds as well. if you are reciting, should come into the practice. Now, another part is not only working on virtues, but must leave vices as well. Now, this is the second step. पहला किसी चंगा काम करना है. Virtues should be there. But then, not only those things should be there, we need to leave few things as well. ये नहीं अभी थोड़ी जी सेवा कर ली तो बहुत टाइम निंदा चुगली ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਬਿਤਾ ਲਈਏ. Uplifting is needed again and again. So it's not just leaving us by doing good deeds. So it's just guiding us towards. It is not an end. It's just a part. So lobh na chuteo deva. And then another thing. Not only calm growth, not only those vices, but if you are doing any physically wrongdoings, those also we need to leave. बाट पार कर मूस बेरानो पेट भरै अपराधी. बाट पार, बाट, वाट, बाट माने रास्ता, वे. बाट पार, रास्ते के ऊपर रोक लिया. बाट मीन्स ऑन द वे, ऑन द रोड, ऑन द स्ट्रीट. सो रास्ता. पार उथे रोक लिया. घर मूस बेरानो, मूस ठगी. पेट भरै अपराधी. बेरानो means someone else. बेगाना. So बाट रास्ता, पार रास्ते ते रोक लिया, stopped on the road. घर मूस, मूस ठगी, robbery. बेरानो someone else. बेगाना. पेट भरै अपराधी. So by doing robbery at someone's house or someone doing robbery on the road by taking some money or few things from any person, पेट भरै अपराधी, but you are filling your stomach, your belly. We need to leave those things as well. तो माड़े काम ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਛੱਡਣੇ ਪੈਣਗੇ. बेगाने घरों अपनी जगह के ऊपर अपने पासे ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ नहीं लेके ਆਣ. So not only calm growth, which is maybe just going thoughts inside us, but our deeds should be nice as well. Shouldn't take ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਹੱਕ ਪਰਾਇਆ ਨਾਨਕਾ ਉਸੂਰ ਉਸਕਾ. तो ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ-ਬਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੁੱਟ ਕੇ, ਬੇਗਾਨਾ ਘਰ ਲੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੇਟ ਨਾ ਭਰ. ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ. Earning money is not only by just robbing, by staying on the street. That time it was happening more. Nowadays, even yet, if there is some places which are dark or not so many people are crossing from the same road, that is maybe a bit more lonely kind of road, so which is sometimes could be a bit dangerous. And not only in that way, people do robbery by on the name of religion as well. अवर रहाओ पंक्ति जड़ी सी तै नर क्या पुराण सुन कीना. तो बाणी कई पढ़ के कई बारी नकली कोई साधु नकली संत बन के भी लुट लेंदे ने. It is not only about doing robbery and the way that we think a thief या चोर जांदे ने. Some are becomes more professional or more smart. So what they do robbery on the name of religion as well. है ना. ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਦਿਖਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਲੁੱਟਣਾ, ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਧਨ ਦੌਲਤ ਨੂੰ ਲੁੱਟਣਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਗਲ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ, ਗਲਤ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰਨਾ. That is also one of the thing which a religious person shouldn't do. He shouldn't recite his name to rob people. He shouldn't recite Vaheguruji's name just to fulfill his belly or fill his stomach. So that is also one thing that Bhagat Ji is mentioning here. जेहे परलोक जाए अपकीरत सोई अभिध्या साधी. जेह परलोक जाए अपकीरत. Apkirat, kirti means praise. Apkirat, kind of insult. Guilty feel करावांगे, बेइज्जती होएगी. So, if a one is reciting his name just to rob people, just to collect money. He's reciting so that people may think I'm religious and I can get more money. Or I can just tell them, if you'll come to me, I'll give you a fruit, you will get a child, or something like that. Just trying to make fool of people and trying to earn more and more. That is again ਕਿ ਧਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਗਲਤ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਰਤ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ. So that is not a real knowledge. ਸੋਈ ਅਵਿਦਿਆ ਸਾਧੇ, avidya, which is not a good vidya. You are just wasting your time, your life, and also other people's life by doing wrong things. So here we may need to think about these words: learning, unlearning, and relearning. Firstly, we need to say whatever we are learning, whatever we are doing, is it right? If it is not right, it is not vidya, it is avidya, then unlearning. Leave those thoughts, which becomes more difficult actually. We also get associated with our thoughts. If someone don't agree with our thoughts, we just start hating that person because we are too much attached to our thought. But we must remember, a Sikh means who need to learn more. Sikh means a student who is ready to learn. So sometimes learning could be done in a wrong way. We may have a different kind of a wrong meaning. So then we need unlearning as well. And then again, we need relearning. So learning, unlearning, and relearning is also part of it. Sometimes we just get stuck to it. We just need to leave that and know what is actually good for me. So that is again a one thing. But if you are learning, so it should become part of your nature, not only deeds. Now again, Bhagat is telling us about the next step. Do good things, leave bad deeds, but don't do good thing just for doing, just for the praise, just to get attention of the people. Should do by heart. Now again, the next step in the spiritual journey. One Shabad, very deep, and tells us the way to live our life. ਇਸ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਸਕੀਏ, ਅਮਲ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ, it is a conclusion of our entire life, spiritual journey. Do's are there, don'ts are there, how to do, everything is there in this Shabad. It's a complete a way of life which is telling us by Bhagat Parmaanand Ji in this Shabad. So not only doing good doings by your body, hinsa to mante nahi chuti, ji daya nahi pali. If you are reciting his name, if you are reading scriptures, the main Rahul line, कि बाणी पढ़ रहा है, getting more and more knowledge, but hinsa tau, still you are very cruel, so harmful for the people. ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ, ਜ਼ੋਰ, ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤੀ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਹੈ. ਹਿੰਸਾ ਤੋਂ ਮਨ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੁੱਟੀ, ਮਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਹਿੰਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਈ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜਨ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ. ਜੀ ਦਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਲੀ, and don't get compassion for someone. That is about inner life now. Inner transformation is much needed. मन ਦਾ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ. ਅੰਦਰ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ, ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨਾ, ਬਾਹਰ ਨਾ. ਹਿੰਸਾ ਤੋਂ ਮਨ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੁੱਟੀ. तो एक क्रुएलिटी अंदर ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ. The only way out is in, caught by Rumi. ਵਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲਣ ਦਾ ਰਸਤਾ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੀ ਹੈ. ਬੜਾ ਪਿਆਰਾ ਥਾਟ. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਹਿੰਸਾ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲਣ ਦਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ. ਹਿੰਸਾ ਤੋਂ ਮਨ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੁੱਟੀ, ਮਨ ਤੋਂ ਛੱਡਣੀ. तो ये बाहर जाएगी ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ. तो ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਜੀ ਦਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਲੀ, ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਦਇਆ ਦੀ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇਹ ਦਇਆ ਨਿਕਲੇ. ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ. ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ, we are reciting, if we are having getting more and more knowledge, then ਉਹਦਾ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਸਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਤੇ ਦਿਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਜੀ ਦਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਲੀ, ਜੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਦਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਈ, ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਸਮਝੋ ਹਜੇ ਧਰਮ ਗ੍ਰੰਥਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਸਨੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਹੈ, ਬਟ they did not become part of that person's life, which is more important. And then the last thing, last पंक्ति of the शब्द, परमानंद साध संगत मिल कथा पुनीत न चाली। परमानंद साध संगत मिल कथा पुनीत न चाली। परमानंद जी शब्द साध संगत मिल, by joining the Saadh Sangat, by joining the congregation, by joining the people, those who are reciting your name, Katha Puneet na Chali, but still Puneet, Pavitra, pure thoughts are not going in your mind, then what are you doing? You must look into it. In the Saadh Sangat, our thoughts could be pure. Our discussion could be more pure. So Parmanand Saadh Sangat mein Katha Puneet na Chali. तो ਪੁਨੀਤ ਕਥਾ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਤਾਂ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਆਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਫਰਕ ਪੈ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ, ਵੀ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਵਰਕ ਔਨ ਇਟ। ਸੋ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੈ? ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੰਦਰ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਵੀ ਚੰਗੇ ਚੱਲਣ, ਐਂਡ ਵੀ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਪੁੱਟ ਸਮ ਐਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਔਨ ਇਟ। ਅਗਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇਨ ਆਰਡਰ ਟੂ ਗਰੋ, ਯੂ ਮਸਟ ਚੇਂਜ। ਅਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਾਡਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡਾ ਮਾਈਂਡਸੈਟ, ਸਾਡੀ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼। ਐਂਡ ਇਨ ਆਰਡਰ ਟੂ ਚੇਂਜ ਯੂ ਮਸਟ ਲਰਨ। If you want to change, you need to learn. What do we need to change? And in order to learn, you must be curious. तो जानन ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਛਾ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੇ, ਸਤ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਮਹਾਨਤਾ ਹੈ। It is possible if we can work on these two things by reciting his name, by learning, and also joining the Sadh Sangat, that can help us. But these are the way we must look into it. It is very important. ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾਈਏ, we are eating food, and yet we feel hungry. We may doubt on it, like if food कैसा food है, पेट ਤੇ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ। तो ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਜੀਵਨ 'ਚ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ, ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ, so then ਭਗਤ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੀ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਣੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। So these are the things that we discussed today. First step is tenor क्या पुराण सुन के। So first step is we must recite. Then another step is we must work on our virtues as well. ਸਿਰਫ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਆਣੀ ਵੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਵਿਦਿਆ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਪਰਉਪਕਾਰ। ਸੋ ਲਰਨਿੰਗ, ਵਿਦਿਆ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ, ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ, ਵਿਦਿਆ ਲਈ ਕੁਝ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ, ਕੁਝ ਸਮਝਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਪਰਉਪਕਾਰੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। So then scripture, then embracing virtues but leaving vices as well. तो अंदरों सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਵੱਲ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ, but also we need to take care what do we need to leave. Once we go to a doctor, gives us some medicine but also some precaution. So we need both of the things. Definitely we need to take medicine to get well, to stay healthy or to be healthy, but also there are some precautions, maybe some kind of food which we are not allowed to eat. There are few things that we must follow. There are some rules. So not only taking medicine, not only working on our virtues, but also work about leaving our vices. Then must work on our wrongdoings, not only just trying to control our mind, trying to control calm growth from our mind, but also we must look into our actions. What am I doing? And there must be some change in the nature, human nature. If a person who is reciting his name there should be some change in his nature. कुछ मिठा बोले, कुछ प्यार नाल बोले, ताई पता लगेगा. It is not like announcing our name in the ardas always or writing on some boards. Yes, I am a religious person. That is possible to show by our actions. ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲਣਾ, ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲਣਾ, showing our humbleness will automatically come to know, yes, ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਕੁਝ ਰੱਬੀ ਗੁਣ ਨੇ. ਤੋ ਰੱਬੀ ਗੁਣਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਤੋ there should be some change in our nature and automatically it will arise. And Sadh Sangat, this is a key of inner transformation. If we are reciting his name, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਥਾ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, but not only if we are just sitting alone ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਥੋੜਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਇਕੱਠਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, possible we may still need to fight with our vices and our wrongdoings, but Sadh Sangat is a main key which will help us to change, actually a key for the inner transformation. ਮਨ ਤੋਂ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋਣਾ, ਸਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋਣਾ, ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ. Until unless we don't work on this part, it is very difficult to work on the path of Almighty, on the path of spirituality. So everything is possible. These are the steps. ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਵੀ ਹਨ, ਮਾੜੇ ਕੰਮ ਛੱਡਨੇ ਵੀ ਹਨ, ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਹੀ ਬੋਲੇ. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਪਵੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਐਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੱਸਣ, ਸਾਡੀ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਦੱਸੇ, ਸਾਡੇ ਮਿੱਠੇ ਬੋਲ ਦੱਸਣ, ਸਾਡੀ ਹੰਬਲਨੈਸ ਦੱਸੇ. ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਣ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ. This is what the message is from Bhagat Parmaanand Ji. So may Vaheguru Ji bless us all as we all are right now in the Saadh Sangat virtually, है ना. तो ऑनलाइन माध्यम ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ. So it shouldn't be the part of just discussion. It should part become of our nature as well. ਇਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਨ ਸੁਣਾਉਣ ਤੱਕ ਨਾ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਈਏ, ਸਾਡੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਣ. So may Vaheguru Ji bless us all. So now would like to announce a couple of things as well. Like this Thursday, tomorrow we have a Sikhi foundation course class. And tomorrow we'll talk about third Guru Sahib Ji's Bani, level 7 at 7 p.m. So those who are from Singapore, those who are joining us, so request to all of the Sangat members, kindly join us in this session as well. And Friday evening, definitely we'll have Punjabi session, Salok 12 te vadik, and Saturday morning we'll discuss about Gunwanti Bani of 5th Guru Shri Guru Arjan Sahib Ji. So request to all the Sangat members, those who are coming, those who are joining, must join us all these sessions. And Sunday morning we'll talk about Ardas. Ardas ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ. So now looking forward to listen from all of you, from all the Sangat members, what is the take-home message for you, or what are the take-home messages for you. So at least share one and kindly participate. Most of the time we do hear from the same Sangat members. So I would like to hear from definitely same Sangat members as well, but definitely those who don't participate, those who don't speak or maybe feel shy. So request to use Sangat members as well. Any question, anything that you noticed, any point that is take-home message for you, you may just share in 1 or 2 sentences as well. We are still okay with it. So, but looking for your participation, for your contribution, Vaheguru Ji. So I'm giving the option now. Sangat can unmute themselves. So kindly contribute in your own words. Looking forward to hear from all of you, Ji. Thank you very, very much once again for joining. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh Ji. Hanji Kartar Kaur Ji, you are unmuted, Ji.
Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh Master Ji. It was a very beautiful lecture. I think most of it was really a reminder to us, because every time we are told that don't only read, listen, also try to understand what it is trying to say and apply that in your life. I think that is my take-home message. But other than that, It was from the starting, I should say, it was very interesting to know that he respected everything and bowed down to everything, saying that God is in everything, which we are taught that yes, even the table and the chairs, the trees, everything has God in it. We should treat them well. Just because they are made of wood or they can't answer you back doesn't mean we must treat them roughly. So that was very interesting to read. The second thing was the description of the 8 things, 8 Sangat, 8, I can't remember more, but that was very interesting to know and to learn about it. And your 5 major points of listening, reciting, voices, or how to show off your inner transformation, and how to be curious to learn, to understand, and to apply. If we are not curious, we definitely do not want to understand. And if we just want to read and recite, and that is just to show off. I just want to share something that happened today. We'll take a little bit of time. Master Ji, please don't mind.
Please,
And the
please.
Sangat also. Today we took a bus full of seniors out. And every 10 seniors had one leader.
Okay.
So we had about 8 groups. And when we were returning home, it was raining, heavy downpour. We expect the leaders to take care of their team. But this leader who shows off someone who reads, understands, and very knowledgeable was the first one to run into the bus, take a seat and sit down.
Oh,
While her 10 seniors who were under her care, under her leadership, were waiting in the rain to go up the bus. Anybody could have just slipped and fall. We had to carry umbrellas, hold their hand, push them up the steps of the bus, and make sure they sit. So this is one example of someone we know who talks big and professes that she's very knowledgeable. She reads, she understands, she attends all our lectures, but these are her leadership qualities in her. So when you were telling us this lecture today, that person came into my mind and I was thinking, does this really fit her? Because this is what happened today. So it is an example of reading, reciting, showing off, but not applying anything or understanding anything in the life, right? Never apply the values, never understand what I'm reading, and I never apply the values in my life. But I do show off to people that I'm reading, I'm reciting, and I'm on top of everything. Just sharing a little story, a true story that happened this morning while the rain was pouring. I can cats and dogs. Thank you very much, Master Ji. It was a beautiful lecture today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ji, for your contribution and sharing your personal experience, and actually very recent, today's experience only. So it is easy to know. Sometimes it may need less efforts to understand, but when it comes to the practical, that is the real test. ਉਦੋਂ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ
Yeah,
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ
because
ਮਚ
it is very easy to preach, Master Ji, but it is very hard to walk the talk.
Exactly.
Thank you, Master Ji. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Any other Sangat member ji who who is just thinking about or got any thought related to it or any personal experience as well, please feel free to share. Hanji Paj, you are unmuted.
Hanji, Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. I think that was a beautiful lecture. The last words, Auntie Ji kya ke gaya na, it's very difficult to walk the talk. I think that walk the talk is what the main line, if you look at a Shabad, Parmanand Saadh Sangat Mil Katha Puneet Na Chali. The word Chali isn't that talking about walking the talk? So I was looking at the story that she was sharing about today, what happened and how, they were not walking the talk. And I'm looking at the Shabad that we just discussed. Katha Puneet Na Chali. Oh, people of the world, why aren't you walking the talk? So I think that was a very good conclusion. But the whole Shabad, I think the focus is on unlocking our inner power in, let's say, 8 days, and how we can live a life of purpose. And it will only happen, I think, because the word Parmanand and it's followed by the word Saadh Sangat Mil. So if you look at Saadh Sangat Mil, it just reminded me of Mil Saadh Sangat Paj Keval Naam. So whenever it's raining cats and dogs, maybe the Zoom is a blessing because ਇੱਥੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਬਾਰਿਸ਼ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਪਰ we are sitting in the safe comfort of our homes and listening to Gurbani. And I think what we need to pray is Prabh Kirpa Te Sad Sang Mela. So today's whole lecture is Janke Hartan Soi Sohela. Sohela means if I want to be happy, if we really want to be really happy in our life, we want to have the wealth of Naam. That is the first condition. And Prabh Kirpa, we need to have the grace, the blessings of my God, Guruji. Then I can come to the Sadh Sangat. That's why Parmanand Sadh Sangat Mil. Then maybe we'll walk the talk of Katha Puneet Na Chali will transform into I'm now starting to follow whatever Guruji says. So I think today's Shabad is all about if we are feeling stuck in our life, if we are yearning for more in our life, if we want to discover the secrets of unwavering devotion, a deeper connection with divine Vaiguruji. I mean, let's just imagine experiencing a life that's filled with peace and purpose and inner peace. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at tools that we want, I like your system of listing the five steps that we can actually become a superman and overcome our negativity and cultivate inner true happiness, because we will break free from the self doubt, we will break free from the self limiting beliefs. I think these are what the lesson of today's one Shabad by Parmaanand Ji tells me. And I think the other thing that I learned is how do we master our emotions, find that inner harmony? Because Guruji also talked about, lust and everything, and embrace the resilience. Let's navigate our challenges. We all will have challenges in our life, but let's embrace them, and let's also have that power of gratitude and manifesting abundance, because that way we will get more beautiful positivity, fulfillment into our life. So I like to say that on one hand, of course, we got so many negatives that we look around, but I think what is important is tumri kirpate peo sad sang eho kaj tum aap kiyo. If we always go back to the prayer that tumri kirpate, that oh Lord, it is only by your blessings, because your very first line 10 are kya puran sun kina. I think it's the same, isn't it? Aj Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji da akhand path sun ke ki ਕੀਤਾ पाल जी, सहज पाठ करके की ਕੀਤਾ है, ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਲੈਕਚਰ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ? ਜੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਮਰੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਹਲੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ, by the grace I have not actually practically implemented that knowledge. So I think that knowledge is important, but applied knowledge is even higher than just simple knowledge. So what a beautiful message, because I think the very first line already emphasized the importance of translating spiritual knowledge into practical action, because true spiritual growth is reflected in our deeds, not just in the understanding of the teachings that we are listening to. So I think this was a very beautiful lesson one. Lesson two is, I think, the significance of compassionate service, I would say, because an pavani bhagat nahi upjay bhukhe dan na dina. I think that one line of Rahau tells me three important things. Number one, bhukhe dan na dina is to serve the hungry. That is the cornerstone of spiritual growth. By helping people in need, we nourish our own souls. I think it will create a positive impact on the world. The second message I get from this Rahau Pankti is I need to have that Pagati, connection with the divine, the deep meditation, Simran, and the willingness to explore more spiritual teachings. And the third message I get from the Rahao Pankti is to focus on gratitude. Once we have gratitude, we will have greater abundance in our life, and more appreciation will come for all the positivity and the fulfillment. But the other very important message is on overcoming that negative emotions, because kamna bisryo, krodna bisryo, lobna chutkyo deva. I think three of the five evils are all mentioned in one line, and we have not forgotten these sexual desires, anger, greed. And I think it's important that we learn from today's Shabbat to recognize, to manage these negative emotions, because then alone we will have inner peace and well-being. Then alone we can cultivate emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, and navigate our life's challenges with resilience. And where will I learn it? I think I will learn it when I sing the kirtan coming into the Saadh Sangat, because Guruji says, Saadh Sangat kabhu nahi kina, ne kirat prab gai. पाल जी कदे कीर्तन नहीं गाया साथ संगत विच नहीं आई तुसी किस तरह beautiful values सीखोगे. So the last few points I'll go through very fast in the essence of time. Number 4 is the importance of self compassion, क्योंकि पर निंदा मुक्ते नहीं छूटी ने फल पई सब सेवा. Guruji says if you continue to slander everyone, and I think what is not just others people slanders, but sometimes we also don't have self love and we criticize ourselves. I think that's another important point, that's hidden message in this Shabbat, that self-criticize or criticism will hinder our personal growth. I think we need to have self-compassion, self-love, and create space for healing, for having positive, you can say, transformation. And how will that come? Ab man chhoot gayi, sadhu sang mile. When we come to the Saadh Sangat, we will get emancipation, liberation when we meet the Saadh Sangat. So if you ask me, I think this is so beautiful, because the last 3 points are breaking away from materialism. Baat par karmus birano, pet pare aparadi. We do all kinds of wrong things for true fulfillment outside. We can never find it. We will never get it in the world wealth. We will only get it when we have inner wealth. Then only lasting happiness, joy, prosperity will come. What a beautiful message. That's why it says, Jab te sadhu sang bhaya, to chhod gaye ne nigahara. Then I leave everything outside. I only come to the Sangat. And the last point is the power of forgiveness. Jai parlok jai apakirat soi abidya sadi. Guruji says your guilt will be gone. So whatever we are feeling guilty for, whatever resentments we have, I think forgiveness is the answer. Maybe from today's Shabbat, let's forgive ourselves that मैं साध संगत कबू नहीं कीनी रचियो तंदे झूठ. I have been engrossed in the false pursuits of the world. I have not come to the Saadh Sangat. Oh Lord, forgive me. Forgive me, because that's the only way to go back to heaven. Have happiness, joy, prosperity. क्योंकि अखीरली पंक्ति उत्थे ही आ जाती है ना, परमानाद साध संगत मिल katha पुनीत न चाली. Then we will live on the path of spirituality. Hinsa to mante nahi chuti, jia daya nahi pali. We will leave all other evilness, have compassion, have kindness, leave cruelty, and empathy and understanding will come. I give you so much of thanks for giving me this opportunity to share. Pulchuk di maafi, ardas kariye kar Saadh Sangat, simar madho hoye patit puneet. May we also, the sinners, become pure in an instant the moment we come to the Saadh Sangat on Zoom. Samadhi da bahut ਧੰਨਵਾਦ. Pulchuk di maafi. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh ji.
Thank you very, very much, Pal Singh Ji, for your very valuable contribution. In just a couple of minutes, you just summarize the Shabad again. So, really appreciate your efforts and your time and your contribution, Ji. Thank you very much, Pal Singh Ji.
Thank you,
हाँ
ji.
जी, thank you, Ji. हाँ जी, Gurmeet Kaur Ji, you are unmuted, Ji.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Master Ji and Sangat. Okay, I think the message that I really am think sync with me is actually about learning, unlearning, and relearning. I think all of us are in a state of like, I know, but how much do you know? But we never know, because we never even question ourselves. I mean, when I look at myself, I've got done this, I've achieved this, I've done that. But have you ever take one step back and said, is that enough? Is that my direction in life? So this is something I think very good reflection about what we should do as a starting point, because we have come to a very complacent state कि सब कुछ ठीक हुआ चली ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵਾ सब कुछ ठीक ਆ ਰੱਬ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਲੈਂਦੀਆਂ, but have we actually done enough for in the spiritual sense? So this is something I think really hit me hard, because I realized that have I done enough? And I think I am so the one into that I'm okay, I'm all right and all that. I had to start telling myself I've not done enough. So it's unlearning what I have, being very, very confident, and I feel I'm knowledgeable, but not enough. So I think from a place where I can start to reflect and think about what is actually important in my life, how can I be with, more spiritual, and look at people who are doing it. Good example like Saadh Sangat, meeting the right people, joining in their discussion, talking about, Guruji, and what is more religious and more impactful, and it will stay with me and make me a better person. I think that would be my unlearning. When I listen to others, see good example, follow other people's way of doing things which are right, not the wrong things now, of course, and then relearning from them what actually was lacking in me, how much I can fill up, so I come from a cup that is not full yet. So I think that is a very good point, and I feel that really resonates with me. And I'm glad I listened to this lecture today. It was wonderful because it really set me thinking. Thank you very much, Master Ji.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you very, very much, Gurmeet Kaur Ji. The way you shared your aspect, it is very easy when we just target some other people. कि पता नहीं दुनिया च कौन की कर रहा है, but the way you thought कि you started thinking about yourself or reflecting, and also in the Sangat you said कि yes, now I'm also working on it, like learning, unlearning, and relearning. That also needs courage, which shows your dedication as well. कि सचमुच जेड़ा है वो ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਨੁਭਾਵਨੀ ਦੀ ਭਗਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਭਗਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪਿਆਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਬਖਸ਼ਣ ਜੀ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲੀ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਔਰ ਮੇਬੀ on the base of our family, we all are growing always, so we must think about it, are we really growing on the spiritual path as well or not? Actually, you gave us all a thought, जैसे सारे उन you just gave us like a thought to all of us ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। So very beautifully you said, you contributed. Thank you very, very much, Gurmeet Kaur ji, for your contributions. And any other Sangat member who would like to add something, wants to share whatever we learned today, please don't be shy. Okay, so request to all the Sangat members. Yeah, Kuldeep ji, you are unmuted ji. Would you like to share something?
Well, actually, I think all your lecture and all our Sangat have contributed very, very nicely. It's very good. And I was just wondering, just like Gurmeet, है ना, कि 3 ਪੌੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਰਹਾਉ ਦੀ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਇਹ ਛੋਟੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰਮਾਨੰਦ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਅੰਦਰਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੰਦਗੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀ ਨੀਤ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਜ਼ਾਹਿਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਲਰਨਿੰਗ, ਦੈਨ ਅਨਲਰਨਿੰਗ, ਰੀਲਰਨਿੰਗ, and then undergo the inner transformation. So this is the very essence of this, what we have learned today. And ਬੜੇ ਸੰਖੇਪ ਜਿਹੇ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਵੇ ਆਫ ਲਾਈਫ ਪਰਮਾਨੰਦ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਰੱਖ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। So it's very amazing. ਮੈਨੂੰ 1-2 ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ ਹੋਰ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਗਈਆਂ। ਪੜ ਪੜ ਗੱਡੀ ਲੱਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪੜ ਪੜ ਭਰੀਏ ਸਾਥ, ਪੜ ਪੜ ਬੇੜੀ ਪਾਈਏ, ਪੜ ਪੜ ਲੱਦੀਏ ਖਾਤ, ਨਾਨਕ ਲੇਖੇ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਰ ਹਉ ਮੈਂ ਚੱਕਣਾ ਝਾਕ।
That's the trouble with us. We learn ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਰਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਅਸਲੀ ਇੰਟੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵੱਲ ਧਿਆਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੋ I think today's very simple presentations, very simple shabd, all these basic things have become highlighted again, that we have to look into ourselves. What are we really? And how we can change. So it's learning and then the application. So basically it's just our way of life. So ਸੁਣਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੀਏ ਵੀ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਚਾਉ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਮਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਭਾਉ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੀਰਥ ਮਲ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਾਂਗੇ So this is my takeaway message for today, that we really have to look into ourselves, nowhere else. Knowledge ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੰਦਰਲੀ ਨੀਤ ਅੰਦਰਲੀ ਖੋਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਬਾਹਰ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ during periods of stress and anger and all those ਕਾਮ ਕ੍ਰੋਧ ਲੋਭ ਮੋਹ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਦੇ emotions ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ how can we master and overcome all these weaknesses from within ourselves? So that's what I feel is the essence of today's talk and my takeaway messages. Very nice, very good, simple, to the point, full of impact. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji. Thank you very, very much, Kuldeep Kaur Ji, for sharing your take-home message to all of us, so that we all can also have a thought again ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਬੈਟਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ ਕੁਲਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ any other Sangat member ji who would like to share their take home message or something that you would like to add or any personal experience if you remember? Okay, so a request to all the Sangat members, please unmute yourself. ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਂਝੇ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਸਮ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ Thank you very, very much once again for joining, for contributing, for giving your precious time. ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਬਖਸ਼ਣ ਜੀ ਆਓ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਆਖਣਾ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Thank you, Ji.